evening and welcome to your Tuesday, November 25, 2025 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Budget 2026 aligns with PVPC re-election manifesto, says Finance Minister. Government builds macroeconomic framework to withstand shift in oil prices, says Dr. Singh. New timelines for local content certification take effect from January 2026. Supply East Coast Demerara brawl leaves one dead. Police hunting 62-year-old relative. Government calls for greater UK investments as major gold mines being developed. In Guyana, a 9-year-old beaten to death by cousin died from ruptured spleen. Suspect yet to be arrested. Now for the news in detail. Mere months after being re-elected, the PVPC government is moving full steam ahead in preparing its projected expenditure for 2026, one that will focus on its manifesto presented to the people of Guyana in September during the party's re-election campaign. Here are the details from Bisham Mohammed.
In September 2025, we went to the electorate with a very comprehensive agenda for the next 5 years. And that comprehensive agenda was reflected in our manifesto, which addressed both the overarching framework and vision, the bold and exciting vision of our president, and the leadership of our party and leadership of our government, and also a fairly comprehensive articulation of the things that we're planning to do in the various sectors. And so that manifesto, which constitutes our contract with the people of Guyana, it's on the basis of our manifesto that we were re-elected to office with the significantly increased majority with which we were re-elected, will form the basis of Budget 2026.
Finance Minister Dr. Singh responded to reporters on Tuesday when pressed for an update on Budget 2026 preparations and what Guyanese can expect. Dr. Singh stated that work has already commenced on Budget 2026, with the Ministry of Finance already in receipt of submissions from the various government agencies and other stakeholders.
Work has certainly already started on budget preparation. The various ministries and government agencies have already prepared their respective budget submissions. And those budget submissions, as you can imagine, flesh out in greater detail the commitments that would have been given in the manifesto. They develop further and flesh out in greater detail, like I said, the various commitments, the various policy objectives and commitments that we would have articulated in the agenda. We in the Ministry of Finance have already started our engagement with the various agencies. In the first instance, various agencies within government, but in addition, engagement with other stakeholders, private sector groups, etc., because as you know, we also engage in an ongoing close consultation with the private sector and other stakeholder groups as part of our policy formulation and budget preparation processes. So work has started and is advancing very well. We will continue this work. The next few weeks will be a very intense period of effort. We will continue the work that will see us being able to submit the budget in Parliament very early in the new year.
When asked for a sneak preview of Budget 2026, this is what the minister had to say.
You know that I'm not going to give you a sneak preview into the budget. You will see where we go in terms of what we invest more in, what we invest less in when the budget is presented.
Under the theme, A Secure, Prosperous and Sustainable Guyana, the PVPC government presented a whopping $1.382 trillion budget on January 17, 2025, marking the second budget in Guyana's history to cross the $1 trillion mark and containing a wave of measures aimed at not only moving the economy forward, but also bringing direct benefits to Guyanese. The 2025 budget, a 20.6% increase from 2024, focused on key priorities, including infrastructure development, such as completing the new Demerara River Bridge and a gas-to-energy project aimed at lowering electricity costs, among other support for social programs, public services, and the enhancement of sectors like education, health, and sports. Bisham Mohammed, The Evening News.
In light of a drop in oil prices globally, Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh believes that Guyana has built a macroeconomy framework that is resilient and that can withstand the movement of oil prices. In fact, the minister stated that Guyana, as an oil-producing nation, will closely monitor the downward trajectory of the oil prices.
So all of the structures that we have built, all of the entire policy framework that we have articulated is built and designed to ensure that we are resilient to movements in oil prices. Now, obviously, as an oil-producing country, we would like oil prices to remain strong or high, or as high as possible, because that has an impact, of course, on the revenues that we receive, because that's a function of production and of prices. But I'm happy to say to you that we have been careful as a government to build structures and to build a macroeconomic framework that is still extremely resilient and that can withstand, that has sufficient resilience to be able to withstand movement in oil prices. We will continue to be attentive to where oil prices go.
We are now joined by Luanda McAllister, who reports that as part of a broader mandate to expand and modernize public services, the Natural Resources Ministry, through the Local Content Secretariat, on Tuesday announced new structured timelines for reviewing and approving applications for local content certification.
The move is intended to bring greater clarity, predictability, and efficiency to the process, ensuring that businesses and companies understand exactly how long approvals will take once all the required documents have been submitted. Effective January 2026, the following can be expected under the updated framework. Sole proprietorship and landlords will have new applications processed within 5 working days, with renewals completed within 3 working days. 100% Guyanese-owned companies and business partnerships will have new applications processed within 15 working days and renewals within 10 working days. All other companies will see new applications processed within 21 working days, while renewals will be completed within 15 working days. The Secretariat emphasized that these timelines only begin once all required documents have been received, ensuring that processing periods are consistent, transparent, and aligned with the government's commitment to a more responsive public service. An updated list of required documents will be posted on the petroleum.gov.y website, clearly indicating the documents which will be required under this new framework. Furthermore, stakeholders across Guyana's petroleum industry and its wider supply chain are encouraged to download and utilize the Local Content app launched in February of this year. This platform brings suppliers closer to contractors and subcontractors by streamlining access to procurement needs and strengthening local participation in the sector. Importantly, too, the ministry will be launching a portal where applications can be submitted online to optimize efficiencies in the process. Meanwhile, the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce has welcomed the move by the government, stating that it has been in continuous discussions with the Secretariat on matters affecting local businesses, including its transaction process time and the updating of the Local Content Act schedule of services. The GCCI says that it looks forward to continued dialogue with the LCS and the effective implementation of this decision, which is anticipated to improve the ease of doing business in Guyana. This is Luanda McAllister reporting for the Evening News.
Let's now tell you that a brawl at Supply Mahaika, East Coast Demerara on Monday evening has left 36-year-old Ray Shuraj, called Red Man, dead. Police stated that at about 23 hours, Shoraj was at his Supply East Coast Demerara home in the company of several others when an argument broke out with a male relative who resides in the same yard. During the altercation, the suspect allegedly inflicted an injury to the deceased's left leg with a sharp object. According to reports, the injured man attempted to curtail the bleeding, but later collapsed in the upper flat of his home. He was taken to the Enmore Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Detectives say that a cutlass and a chopper suspected to have been used in the incident were recovered at the scene. However, the 62-year-old suspect fled the scene shortly after committing the act. He is presently being pursued by the police. 2 men who were at the home during the brawl are in police custody. In addition, a female relative who sustained a minor injury during the altercation was treated and sent away. Investigations are ongoing. Guyana is on the cusp of developing several major gold mines, and as such, UK investments in the mining sector is crucial. This was according to Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh, who was addressing the 5th British Trade Mission to Guyana, where he highlighted the country's expanding mining prospects and noted that operations in the hinterland also offer strategic access to markets in northern Brazil, creating wider economic opportunities for investors. Trishelle Sobers reports.
Guyana's gold mining industry is expected to undergo major expansion as at least 2 large-scale gold mines are projected to come into operation over the next 5 years. This was reaffirmed by Senior Minister in the Office of the President with Responsibility for Finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, as he urged both local and international investors to position themselves to benefit from the massive opportunities emerging in the sector. Delivering the keynote address at the 5th British Trade Mission to Guyana, Dr. Singh emphasized that while Guyana has long been a gold-producing nation, new exploration successes and recent project announcements have paved the way for very bright and attractive prospects for the development of large-scale operations. He noted that interest and participation in the sector are not only limited to mining companies alone, stressing that opportunities extend widely to businesses involved in construction, heavy-duty equipment, logistics, transport, and shipping.
Even in recent months, we have heard significant announcements of planned projects that will see the build-out of large-scale gold mines in Guyana, and that will see gold continue to be a dominant, not a dominant, but continue to be a strong contributor to overall economic growth. Now, you don't necessarily need to be a gold mining company to have an interest in a development like that, because we have had, for example, as members of this delegation, we have had heavy equipment suppliers coming into Guyana, and I believe in at least one heavy equipment manufacturer and supplier has entered into a strategic partnership with a Guyanese partner. And so there's no gold mining without significant heavy equipment, significant other related and ancillary services, including construction, including haulage, transport, logistics, shipping, and all of the things that go with gold mining.
Beyond gold, Dr. Singh highlighted that Guyana's bauxite industry is also poised for a significant ramp-up, with metallurgical grade bauxite now being produced in Linden, Region 10, and further expansion planned to meet increasing gold demand. Dr. Singh reiterated President Ali's repeated message that Guyana is committed not only to producing primary commodities, but also to generating value-added products through agri-processing and agri-business. He stressed that the same pattern of growth and investment potential seen in mining and agriculture is replicated across every sector of the economy. Meanwhile, underscoring Guyana's strategic geographic position, Dr. Singh emphasized that ongoing works on the Linden to Latham Highway, supported in part by UK financing through the Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, will soon provide seamless access to northern Brazil.
Guyana has become the largest trade partner with the United Kingdom in the Caribbean, the UK's largest trade partner in the Caribbean. That's a very significant achievement. But over the course of the next 5 years, the road to Brazil will be completed and will be linked with a deep water harbor on Guyana's Atlantic coast. So what that does immediately for anybody who's doing business in Guyana or who's investing in Guyana is it immediately opens up northern Brazil to you. So an investment in Guyana is literally an investment in capacity to serve the market in northern Brazil.
The minister used the occasion to highlight the deepening economic relationship between Guyana and the United Kingdom. He nevertheless reported that nearly 40% of companies participating in previous trade missions have successfully secured partnerships or concluded transactions. Further, he welcomed the newly appointed UK trade envoy to the Commonwealth of the Caribbean, Paulette Hamilton, and commended British High Commissioner Jane Miller for her leadership in promoting bilateral ties. He also reaffirmed that the Guyanese government remains strongly committed to building a resilient, diversified economy and to deepening its commercial partnership with the UK. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Coming up, 9-year-old beaten to death by cousin died from ruptured spleen, suspect yet to be arrested, and a Berbice market vendor robbed at gunpoint during home invasion. Do stay with us, more news ahead.
From Charles chocolates, bounce into flavor. Ping pong, everybody want some. Roasted peanuts is the true number one. Ping pong, you better get a handful. This chocolate is so incredible. What's the snack everybody craves for? Ping pong, bounce into flavor. Chocolate coated peanuts, delicious top class A+. Ping pong, from Charles chocolates, bounce into flavor.
This Christmas runs on real connections with Digicel. The cause, the laughter, the joy, and the chance to pick and win big. We're giving away $12 million. Yes, every week, one lucky Digicel customer gets a chance to win up to $2 million. 6 lucky winners in total. Here's how you get in. Top up with $1,000 or more, or pay your fiber or postpaid bill in full. The more you top up, the more chances you get. Stay connected this Christmas for your chance to win big. Digicel.
In today's tough driving conditions, every engine faces 3 powerful enemies: engine heat, pollutants, and frequent short trips. Each factor is a direct cause of engine sludge, a buildup of dirt that can block vital oilways. This triple threat demands triple protection. Castrol GTX's Triple Protect Power is engineered to fight these 3 main causes of engine sludge.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we're celebrating with big savings on smartphones, starting as low as $16,500 for the Samsung A06 and $26,500 for the Samsung A16 and $40,500 for the A26. But wait, there's more. Get 1 month free data with your new phone to keep you close to loved ones near and far. Offer available while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today and unwrap the gift of real connections. Digicel.
ExxonMobil Guyana is officially moving forward with the Hammerhead project, as confirmed in their final investment decision. This means the company is fully committed to investing in the project. Hammerhead is the company's 7th offshore project, representing an investment of $6.8 billion. This brings ExxonMobil's total investment in Guyana to over $60 billion, with first oil targeted for 2029. The floating, production, storage, and offloading vessel for this project is expected to produce around 150,000 barrels of oil per day. Additionally, the associated gas produced from the Hammerhead project reservoir will be transferred to the highly anticipated gas-to-energy pipeline network, which is expected to reduce electricity costs for all Guyanese by up to 50%. Since oil production started offshore, long-term investments have opened doors for Guyanese, shaping the industry and local economy for generations to come.
Ping pong, from Charles chocolates, bounce into flavor. Ping pong, everybody want some. Roasted peanuts is the true number one. Ping pong, you better get a handful. This chocolate is so incredible. What's the snack everybody craves for? Ping pong, bounce into flavor. Chocolate coated peanuts, delicious top class A+. Ping pong, from Charles chocolates, bounce into flavor.
back. You're watching the evening news. Days after 9-year-old Levon Collins of Nurney Village, Corentyne, succumbed to a severe beating at the hands of his teenage cousin, the police have yet to make an arrest, while the family is now torn apart. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael visited the lad's relatives and filed this report.
She wasn't questioned by the police.
And you said yesterday she passed here?
Yesterday she passed on the dam. And she passed on the dam yesterday and she tell my son saying he next left. He next left.
What can you say about the relationship between the cousin and your son?
They don't agree at all. They don't agree. She bad away, she bad all over she walk. She look for problem everywhere she go.
Latoya Collins, the mother of Levon Collins, a former pupil of Kildonan Primary School. The lad succumbed on Saturday, almost 2 weeks after he received a severe beating from his 15-year-old female cousin. According to the grieving mother, the incident occurred a short distance from their home after her son got off his bicycle to fix a slipped chain. It was then that he was attacked by the suspect, and he responded in kind, even though he was overpowered.
You know, he not left off, he not take class. So them two did. She beat you up, she take the bicycle and choke on him. And she probably beat you up. She push you down up on the ground. They slap. So since then, he started complaining for his stomach.
After sustaining injuries, the lad was rushed to the Port Brown Hospital where he was examined and given pain medication and discharged after an X-ray was done. However, his condition worsened 4 days later, prompting her to take him to the New Amsterdam Hospital. There, the child was admitted to the intensive care unit and later transferred to the children's ward, where he appeared to be improving. However, on November 22nd, the child suddenly began vomiting what appeared to be clot blood. He died moments later.
I went to make a report at him. They said them come in the next morning. They come in at Nonce Hospital to come see and ask the question, and them never show up. They never show up. When they call them, they say them had a robbery, so them didn't get to come.
So until today, they never come to ask?
Well, then take the matter in them home now. After he passed away, then come, then do what they gotta do, then take the matter in them home now.
The grieving mother noted that she has not reached out to the parents of her teenage niece, who she says is responsible for her son's death. Despite telling the police what happened and despite making multiple reports, Collins says she is frustrated that no one, especially the cousin, has been taken in for questioning. She insists that the family deserves answers and that her son's death cannot simply be ignored.
I hope to get justice for him because it's not easy for us. The second child, he was so good to me.
The 15-year-old, who remains in hiding, is reportedly a school dropout. An autopsy performed on the lad by government pathologist Dr. Vivekanand Bridgemohan gave the cause of death as shock due to hemorrhage from a ruptured spleen. However, up to news time, the Guyana police force has not responded to requests for an update on the matter. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Guyana signed air services agreements with 6 countries, namely Panama, St. Martin, Uganda, Ecuador, Liberia, and Kenya, at the 17th International Civil Aviation Organization Air Services Negotiation event in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic last week. These agreements create the legal framework that opens market access for airlines to operate and enhances competitive air transport services, trade, and economic growth with Guyana. It is anticipated that these agreements will stimulate interest from airlines in these states to consider Destination Guyana as part of their route network. In addition, with these new agreements, Guyana now has bilateral and multilateral pacts with over 60 states. Although the MOUs are non-binding, they signify the mutual commitment of both authorities to seek innovative solutions that enhance aviation safety, strengthen regulatory frameworks, foster knowledge sharing, and encourage the adoption of best practices in safety management, regulatory oversight, and training, including exploring mutual interests in areas such as human resources management and the economic regulation of air transport. Guyana also commenced negotiations with France to update the 1974 Air Services Agreement between these countries. The update of the agreement will allow airlines of both states to operate in each other's territory under a more liberal arrangement. Negotiations were also initiated to establish an air services agreement with Austria. The government's new manifesto for children will be built around their needs and rights, according to Human Services and Social Security Minister Dr. Vindhya Prasad during her address to young participants at a national policy consultation.
The government of Guyana is intensifying efforts to confront bullying, reckless driving, and a range of societal issues affecting children through coordinated cross-ministerial initiatives. This was reaffirmed on Monday by Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vindhya Prasad, who told a packed room of students, advocates, and representatives from United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF that children will directly shape the policies being designed to protect them. Speaking at a national policy consultation focused on child protection and well-being, Dr. Prasad said ongoing engagements between the Ministries of Education, Human Services, and Home Affairs, supported technically by UNICEF, are aimed at crafting holistic solutions. She noted that the government is expanding both in-person and community-based intervention programs to ensure parents and children can access help when needed. Dr. Prasad opened her remarks with a direct appeal to the students present, asking how many felt truly listened to. When several hands went up to indicate they felt unheard, the minister said the moment illustrated, quote-unquote, how much better adults must do.
But I want you to consider today a space that is safe, a space that is supportive, a platform provided by UNICEF, the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and the Rights of the Child Commission, a space that is powerful because it's a listening space, a space that will take note of everything that you say, so that whatever you say will guide us on crafting policies, programs, and laws. A good part of being a great leader, and I think you're all leaders, is learning to listen to each other, respecting what each other says, and recognizing the potential in each other. Finally, I will close by saying this.
Dr. Prasad announced that a children's manifesto, a national document outlining what children want for their lives today and in the future, is being developed directly from consultations with young people. She referenced the Convention of the Rights of the Child, adopted globally in 1990, noting that despite decades of commitment, the world still struggles to meet all the rights promised to children: safety, identity, health, education, and freedom from discrimination. Guyana, she reminded, has a population in which nearly 30% are children. The minister led students in a discussion on safety, asking how many felt unsafe or feared bullying. A notable number indicated that they had experienced or feared being bullied, while others admitted they felt afraid to tell anyone when something was wrong.
So the important thing is when you have a voice, you need to do what? Use it. When you have a voice, what you need to do? Use it, and use it for positive things, for always speaking the truth, for speaking up for others who might be afraid, and for taking a stance on things that you believe are important in your world. And today, I want you to use that voice when you enter the children's circles and all the activities where you will be asked for your opinions, your views, and what you want to see happen in Guyana.
The consultation highlighted the gap between what children experienced and what adults often assume. Dr. Prasad said that insights gathered will be used to strengthen programs and finalize the Children's Manifesto, which will guide future government policy. UNICEF, the Child Care and Protection Agency, the Rights of the Child Commission, youth advocates, and other partners will continue consultations nationwide as Guyana works to modernize and strengthen its child protection system. Bashar Mohammed, Evening News.
A 32-year-old vendor from Central Amelia's ward and a 36-year-old carpenter from South Amelia's ward are now nursing gunshot injuries following a drive-by shooting at Lovers Lane, Central Amelia's ward, Linden, on Sunday evening. According to information received, the vendor was standing in front of his shop while the carpenter was walking close by when a motor car drove up and came to a halt near them, during which an individual inside the vehicle allegedly discharged several rounds in their direction. The 32-year-old vendor was shot in the chest, while the carpenter sustained a gunshot wound to the foot. Both men were taken to the Linden Hospital complex where they were treated. The vendor was referred to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation for further medical attention, while the carpenter remains a patient at the Linden Hospital complex. Both men are reportedly in stable condition. No arrests have been made as investigations continue. A 44-year-old resident of Brighton Village, Corentyne, is left traumatized after she was robbed at gunpoint by gunmen who invaded her home on Monday evening. Andrew Carmichael has the details.
Swarthwitty Sitcharan was at home with her children when two gunmen, one masked and both carrying what appeared to be handguns, confronted her in the kitchen. The attackers left her dumbfounded. She was hardly had time to comprehend what was taking place. The Rose Hall Town Market vendor, speaking with the Evening News, recalled that it was about 18 hours when she heard someone talking in the yard. Her 18-year-old son went to investigate.
I hear somebody say nobody in holla, right? So when I turn around, two man, one get on mask and one in get on mask, and then don't approach inside. And the one with the mask run come to my son from this chair kind of here, and the one without the mask got to me in the kitchen.
Still shaken, the woman related that the gunmen forced her to turn off the light and threatened her while simultaneously demanding cash and other valuables. Afraid for her life and the safety of her children, she complied as he held a gun to her back.
And my son called for me and I said, Nick, na holla baby. And he said, what the money there, why you get? So I said, we get me sell a little bit money. And the money they inside the room in my bag on the barrel. And he said, show me where the money there. So he put the gun on my back and when I walk I go in the room and they take out my black bag and my money went in the apron and he throw the money, they open the bag and he throw the money and he take out the money that went in the apron. And he said, what the rest money? And I said, we never get more money, this is all we get. And he said, we know you as business people, that how give me the rest money, and he pushed the gun back on my back.
According to the woman, the bandit carted off approximately $700,000, including sales money and cash for household expenses.
And then I hear a loud noise, like a bottle explode. They take a bottle, the one outside take a bottle and they pelt it on the wall. The concrete post here, because the bottle been bust. And my daughter, she had the bust, because the police them come and see she with all the blood. And I beg them to tell me two children is disabled, children them lying there and I do them nothing. And the other bag, me will get $385,000 inside. And me got to pay the installment. And me take it out and me give them. And me telling them how we need to get more money. That is all we have. I'll close to $700,000 because I've been getting my box on money and the money was myself from Saturday to yesterday. Me been getting my apron. I mean supposed to pay two installments, one at BM and one at iPad. And all the money we didn't get to.
The perpetrators reportedly escaped through the back fence and made their way into the backlands. Sitcharan says that her children remain shaken by the ordeal and is calling for swift police action. Residents of the area say robberies have become too frequent and are urging stronger patrols along the Corentyne coast. Andrew Carmichael, the evening news.
An autopsy performed on 16-year-old Jodea Celine confirmed that she died from multiple skull fractures. Celine was among the victims of the fatal minibus crash on the number 63 public road, Corentyne, which also claimed the life of her teacher, 31-year-old Jerome Bernard, and left several students injured. Government pathologist Dr. Vivekanan Bridge Mohan performed the autopsy at Bailey's funeral home in the presence of police officers and relatives. Regional health officials reported that 6 of the 18 injured teachers and students have been discharged from the number 75 regional hospital. A 13-year-old remains in a critical condition at the Georgetown Public Hospital, while 7 others continue to receive treatment at the number 75 facility. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Barbados River Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic on Wednesday, November 26, 2025 at 7 hours 40 for a period of 1.5 hours.
The 20th edition of Diamond Hockey Tournament bullies off this Thursday, and Sammy backs mindset execution plan as Windies head into Test Series against New Zealand. These and more coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
On the job, you know how it goes. 1 minute, everything's going right, and the next, something goes wrong. Don't worry, Premier Insurance will make things right again. For all risks insurance, call 223-0840 or visit premierinsurance.gy. Fuel your success. Premier insurance coverage for less.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we're celebrating with big savings on smartphones, starting as low as $16,500 for the Samsung A06 and $26,500 for the Samsung A16 and $40,500 for the A26. But wait, there's more. Get 1 month free data with your new phone to keep you close to loved ones near and far. Offer available while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today and unwrap the gift of real connections. Digicel.
Vehicle owners, are you looking for quality front hubs, replacement bumpers, exhaust flex and pipes, alternators, starters, power steering pumps, AC evaporators, and much more for your vehicles? Well, Sylvie's Automotive Solutions should be your first choice. Come on down to our Lot 44 High Street, Georgetown location and take advantage of our competitive prices. Give us a call on 225-4360 or WhatsApp us on 610-0347.
This Christmas runs on real connections with Digicel. The cause, the laughter, the joy, and the chance to pick and win big. We're giving away $12 million. Yes, every week, one lucky Digicel customer gets a chance to win up to $2 million. 6 lucky winners in total. Here's how you get in. Top up with $1,000 or more, or pay your fiber or postpaid bill in full. The more you top up, the more chances you get. Stay connected this Christmas for your chance to win big. Digicel.
Another one enjoying 7 years of peace of mind, thanks to Supra by Lanco. Premium quality paint. Supra, the long-lasting color paint, unbeatable value, backed by a 7-year warranty. The experts recommend Lanco.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.